What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we live in the building, man. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing, man? It's your boy West Coast, man, coming at you guys live on this Monday evening. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm so cowboy the f out. I have no clue who's playing on Monday Night Football tonight. Who's playing on Monday Night Football tonight?
I mean, I'm watching Monday Night Football right now, man. The Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing.
The Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the team that we are going to be playing this week is actually playing tonight. So I'll be watching that game later on tonight as it goes off TV. But shoot, man, it's your boy West Coast. It's your boy Henny Demore from HTM Sports, man. I'm here, man. I told you guys I was going to come back to you guys today and give you guys some content tonight to end it off. You know what I'm saying? End this Cowboy Monday off. You know, this is Victory Monday, too. To be honest, which is a late one, but it's a Victory Monday, too. So
Hmm.
we go ahead. But we got to get into it, man. So you guys already know whenever West Coast goes live, there's two things you guys must do. First thing you must do is you must hit that share button. So I need everybody right now. I need everybody right now, no matter where you are, no matter where you're watching at. I need everybody right now to hit that share button. Hit that share button. I got 8 people watching on YouTube. We know it's about to get a gang of people up in there. So we appreciate everybody that's stopping through. Facebook, you guys already know it takes it a couple minutes before my little app right here opens up, so to let me know who's watching on Facebook. But I know I got a gang of people watching on Facebook already too. So we appreciate you. Actually, I can tell you right now, we got 26 people, 31 people watching on Facebook, and 12 people watching on YouTube, man. So yo, I need everybody to go tell the world that West Coast is live. HTM Sports is live. And we about to talk about these Cowboys like nobody else does it. So let's go ahead and get it, man. What's up with you, Lucky Johnson? I see you on YouTube. I see you tapping in. Appreciate you, my guy, for tapping in. Appreciate you over there on YouTube. The first person comment I got to see was my boy Lucky. Who else we got over here in here, man? It's a gang of people over here in Facebook. And we live on Henny Demore Sports, too. So if you're live on Henny Demore and you're watching over there, we want to give you a special thank you and a special shout out, too. Show you guys some love. Let y'all know that we ain't forgot about you. You feel me? But yeah, okay, here we go. Facebook is finally up. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, so hey, you guys know on Facebook, you guys already know when I say your name on YouTube, when I say your name on TikTok, on Instagram, on where else we live at? On Periscope. As I say your name, make sure you hit the share button. The share button is at the bottom right there. And then also make sure you hit the star button or the super chat button. Now you guys already know top star giver for the today is going home with a Dallas Cowboys Micah Parsons blue jersey. Micah Parsons blue jersey. So make sure you guys hit that share button. Top star giver is going home with it. So make sure y'all hit that share button, hit that star button, and let's get it, man. I'm about to go through here. I'm gonna say what's up to everybody that's saying what's up to me, and then we're gonna get straight into the content. You feel me? So what's up with you, Vincent Mosley? What's up with you, Carl? What's up, Carl? Appreciate you, my boy, for tapping in. Lauren Brown, what's up, Lauren? Richie, what's up, Richie? Peter Comoyle, what's up with you, Gilbert? Bobby Armstrong, hit that star button. Nava, hit that star button. Darren, what's up, OG? Hit that star button. Isaac, what's up with you? Vincent, hit that star button. Reginald Wiggins, what's up, sir? Darren, I see you again. Michael, I see you again, Michael T. And then Rafael Santiago, what's up, Rafael? Appreciate you, my boy, for tapping in. And then who else we got up here? Michael Trejo, what's up, Michael T? I see you, my boy. And then we got Laura Boone. I think I already gave Lauren, Laron. What's up, Laron Jr.? That's a junior, so that's Laron. Appreciate. What's up with you, my boy? Appreciate you for tapping in too. And shoot, Henny, man, let's get to it, man. I didn't gave out
Oh,
all the shout outs, man. Let's go ahead and get to it. So yo, we're gonna start off with everything that is hot off the presses as far as everything that's cowboy that's going on today that we heard or anything that we heard through the grapevine. What's up with you, Auntie Gwen? Appreciate you. I see you. Anything that what's up with you, YP? I see you, YP. We're gonna talk about everything that we've heard about today that's come out. First thing before I do that though, let me give a little. How about them Cowboys to to my OG Wiggins for the 145 stars, and he a first time student. Appreciate you, sir. You look like you a deacon at somebody's church, man. I appreciate you too, man. Just the way, you know what I'm saying, the way he wear that suit, man. You feel me? You're talking about that's business, but he look like it's a clergy up in there a little bit. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you, sir, for the first time stars. But yo, let's get straight into the content, man. Let's get straight into the content. Let's get straight into the content. Hey, we have 22 shares, man. We got 22 shares. That means there's a lot of folks on Facebook that's watching for free. What's up, Tommy? Hey, if you're on Facebook right now, hit that share button. Share this content right now. It's about 50,000 cowboy groups out there. Share the content. We got 24 shares. Let's see if how fastly we can get that up to 100. You feel me? Oh, he's a pastor. Look at that. Let me see. Man, hold up.
Do I have a witness here? And I really don't know what you're going through this morning. And I'm so glad that I serve a God
Yeah, I had to get him.
who has already fought my battle. Do I have a witness here?
I had to get him one time. Hey, raise your hand if you're a pastor's kid, though. If you're a pastor, raise your hand right now if you're a son of a pastor right now on the show. Facts, right? Facts, right? All right, well, yeah, all right, let's get it, man. But yo, first thing we gonna talk about. First thing we gonna talk about is some things that was in the media this weekend, and that is and listen to me. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Tell you this right now. We are not about to make this about OBJ all dang show. So I do not want to hear it. Appreciate you,
Matter of fact,
Tommy.
let that be a footnote. There's more important things to talk about.
We is not about to do that all night. We not about to do that. All right. But we are about to talk about it for a little bit. Okay. So OBJ fell asleep, took something. I don't know what the heck he did, but for whatever reason, he was inebriated on an airplane on his way to Los Angeles to do whatever it is that he was going to do. I'm assuming it's probably to get prepared for these meetings that he's about to go to. And for whatever reason, he couldn't wake up. The stewardess had to, they said they tried several times to wake him up. He wouldn't wake up. After that, they got airport TSA involved. Airport TSA was eventually able to get him to wake up. After that, they escorted him off the airplane. They made everybody get off the airplane too. So I know it's about 125 people that probably hate Odell Beckham right now, for sure, because they were all late wherever they was trying to go because they had to get off the airplane because he wouldn't wake up. We're gonna talk about it very briefly. He didn't do anything illegal, so I think we can kind of make sure we don't try to take it there. It was nothing illegal about what he did, but Odell Beckham is a guy that seems the spotlight always seems to follow him, and they say the stars are never brighter like they are in Dallas. So, what is your thoughts, very briefly, on this situation that happened this past weekend with Odell Beckham?
I'm just going to read the official statement from OBJ's lawyer. Earlier today, Odell Beckham Jr. boarded a morning flight in Miami without any problems. The flight was delayed after boarding and prior to takeoff. Mr. Beckham fell asleep with his blanket over his head, which is his normal practice for long flights. He was awakened and told that the plane was back at the gate and that he needed to get off the plane because he did not put his seatbelt on when asked. He responded that he was asleep and that he would put his seatbelt on at that time. He was informed that it was too late and that either he would have to get off the plane or everyone would have to the plane. Finna finish the quote. The overzealous flight attendant insisted on removing everyone from the plane instead of simply allowing Mr. Beckham to fasten his seatbelt and proceed with the flight. At no time was Mr. Beckham disruptive or combative. He was willing to comply with the seatbelt requirement, but the flight attendant wanted to prove that he had the authority to have Mr. Beckham removed from the flight. The airline proceeded to send Mr. Beckham's luggage to Los Angeles without him. That incident was unnecessary. Sleeping on a plane should not be a cause for removal from a flight. If they could, if they could wake him up when the flight returned to the gate, then they could have done the same thing to ask him to put on his seatbelt. End of quote. So he say, she say, I don't know, I wasn't there. Cowboys say they don't care. There's not going to be a factor in if they sign him. So I don't actually care. I really don't even want to sign Odell Beckham. I've been on record about what I expect from this offense and how I don't trust our offensive coordinator with weapons. So yeah, let's move on to the next subject. That's how I feel about it. I don't actually give a damn.
My only thing about it is this, and this is what I would say is like at this level of the game, if you're a guy that is easily recognizable in public, where you can, people can easily recognize you, want to come up get autographs and things like this, you
Hmm.
know, travel with an assistant or travel with security, man. Like, like at this is 2022. People can say you shouldn't have to do it, but guess what? There's a lot of stuff I shouldn't have to do in 2022, but I still have to. You know what I'm
True.
saying? Why? Because that is the new world that we live in. That is the new normal. You know what I'm saying? With just as far as a safety hazard, man, you have guys that have less money than you who are losing their life over lesser things. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I really think about it. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, bro, you have way too much invested. When people see you, they don't a lot. Some people see you as a target, man. You know what I'm saying? Some people see you as a target. Some people see you as a lick. You know what I'm saying? And they won't take. They'll be hopping at an opportunity like this. Now, obviously, he's on an airplane. It's a bunch of people around, so blah 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 blah. But listen to me. Each still was able to turn into something. You know what I'm saying? Something where it was in the media. So that's why I just say, man, like, that should at this level of the game, we can probably go back 5 years. The last 5 years of OBJ's life, he has for sure made at least $10 million, right? So with that, man, you can afford that. You know what I'm saying? He says a game says he says an assistant for what, to wake you up and tell you to put your seatbelt on. Exactly, exactly,
There's somebody that
exactly.
like to help you out. An assistant is
Facts.
literally
That's
somebody to
exactly
help you.
what. Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if something crazy is popping out, this is somebody to have your back. That's really all assistant is for.
Exactly. Like, and to be honest with you, at this level of the game, like these guys are like, you gotta think our life it just entails of us dealing with little money. You know what I'm saying? Not even saying little money, but it's like the money that we dealing with it's not affecting somebody else's life. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys are making, like, you have an agent who is living off of the income that you make. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because you're his client. So it's like, even if you are not, like, my thing is this, even if I'm, it's the same argument I have for rappers, man. It's the same argument I have for rappers. I get it. Rappers don't want to have, you so big and thuggish and gangster that you don't need security. But guess what? I'm your agent. I'm your manager, and I don't make any money off you if you're not here. You know what I'm saying? So to protect my investment, I'm gonna pay for security for you. You know what I'm saying? That's where I say, and I mean, I know for a fact Odell Beckham has an assistant. Like, I know for a fact he has an assistant. Like, you're not gonna tell me guys like this at this level. There's no way you're not gonna tell me he doesn't have an assistant. So just have him with you, man. Like, that's what they're getting paid for. Let the assistant do their job. People say, "What do you need an assistant just to tell?" Yes, absolutely, because an assistant is gonna keep you out of what? Out of the newspaper, man. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna keep you out of the newspaper. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I mean that's kind of my take on it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, Odell Beckham, you got to understand, bro, you got bright gold hair. So anything that you do is going to be kind of illuminated. Why?
Is
Because
that
it's so easy
Illuminati?
to see you. Yeah, because it's so easy to see you, bro. So easy to see you, man. So easy to see you. You feel me? So yo, let's go next thing. Next thing. Let's talk about Tyron Smith, man. Tyron Smith. The latest news that I've gotten on Tyron Smith is that the Dallas Cowboys are expecting him back toward the end of the month. Um, you know, by way of Mike Fisher, who's a pretty credible source, he said that the Dallas Cowboys are looking toward getting him back possibly by December 11th, which is dope because that'll be the game I'll be at. You know what I'm saying? So, cool thing about this is, man, my thoughts. I want to know, in the comment box, what are you guys' thoughts on the return of Tyron Smith? What are your thoughts on the return of Tyron Smith? Tyler Smith, our young rookie first round pick, has played decent. I think you would actually say he's played well if you minus the penalties, but you can't minus the penalties. It is what it is. You can't minus the penalties. You got to speak about it.
He has played well, for what our expectations was. But remember, he was the most penalized player in NCAA football. So like he led the nation in penalties out of Tulsa. So like and guess what? Like he did not put a bunch of great tape on there at times. Like he had bad hand placement, footwork was out of sorts. But he had bad technical issues. But he had raw physical size and power. So like he overcame a lot of that just because he was a physical bully. So like I didn't know if he could actually play tackle at this level, and he's done so at a pretty at a pretty decent rate. But he has not done so to the point where you can't move his ass back to guard, which you plan to play him at this year. Because like you get a Hall of Fame tackle back, Tyler, you gonna have to play guard. Because Tyler Smith right now is a better guard than Connor McGovern is. Just like
Facts.
Tyron Smith is a better tackle right now than Tyler Smith is. So you're upgrading two positions on your offensive line, and like you said before one of your other podcasts. If it doesn't work, just go back to the other lineup because they already played enough games together where it won't be foreign to them. But like this should be a move that upgrades your offensive line, especially in a run game aspect. Because last year, Tyron Smith was a top-rated run blocking tackle in his position. He was top 10 in run blocking win percentage. At the left tackle position. So like you do that, you move him back over there, and then you got Tyler Smith, who was a top-rated run blocker in college himself. Then that whole side of that offensive line is going to be nasty in the run game. And when you look at the raw numbers for Tyler Smith, he's played 728 snaps. He's allowed 4 sacks, and he has 10 penalties. He has the second most penalties in football.
Damn.
We can't sit here. We were crucifying the boy that just left. Uh,
Leia Collins.
nah, not even him. We were crucifying Connor Williams.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God, that's a good example.
And then like you can't say as much as y'all was on Connor Williams' head, you can't be okay with the penalties he has when he's on record to break what Connor Williams did. He is on record to have damn near 20 penalties for the season. So you can't crucify Connor Williams and not resign him, run him off the team, and then live with Tyler Smith giving you 10 penalties. So like protect him, move him beside Tyler Smith. I mean, move him beside Tyron Smith, and by doing so, you also help Tyler be honest in the middle because he has a big, strong, physical guy beside him that can assist him. So it's a good overall move. It's one of the best moves that they can make. And like even if Tyron Smith doesn't stay healthy, just go back to what you did. It's been working so far. But this is a chance to upgrade your offensive line.
Yes, it's not it's a win-win situation because it's like if the upgrade works, then guess what? You keep it. If it doesn't work, then you just go back to what you were doing already. I mean, and your Cowboys right now are ranked sixth in the run versus run weight, 30 for what is it, 31st in
Thirty
pass
second.
rate,
It was
32nd
30. Yeah, it was 32nd. I got to look now to see how it's
32nd in the
changed.
pass rate. So it's like even if you can get to 29, that's better. You can't tell me they're gonna get worse. Like it's hard for me to believe that the Dallas Cowboys offensive line will get worse by adding Tyron Smith.
It won't. It won't
You know
because
what I'm
even with
saying?
him, even with him being slowed down by injury last year, like he was still a guy that was viewed as a top 10 tackle when healthy. So
And
like you got to run with that.
and I mean, for one thing, for sure, the holding calls will cut down. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You ain't gonna get too many holding calls at the guard position, and Tyron Smith ain't gonna give you too many holding calls. So with that alone, right there is gonna be an upgrade to your offensive line. But I mean, you're gonna solidify one whole side of your offensive line. So
Yeah.
that means running is going to be better. And then that's a great point what you said about Tyler Baez. Tyler Baez should be better now, too. Why? Because he has now two strong players on his left. He has a strong guy on his left, and he has a strong guy on his right.
And this is the thing. Like last year, he was a top 10 rated center in run blocking win percentage. Tyler be honest was. So you're gonna have three guys on that side that go crazy. Then Zach Martin go crazy. You gonna it's gonna really open up your run game. You will in theory be able to run behind all five of your guys if you need to.
Yeah, because Terrence Steele, your right tackle, he's playing well.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
he is. I think if I was not mistaken, Terrence Steele is like the highest rated run blocking tackle this year. I have to check. I have to check on that. But like last time I heard, he was up there. So like, dog, like if you want to bludgeon a team into submission, you got the line to do it. You just got to commit to it. If you stay running the ball 35 times, you're going to break some of these teams' will to even line up against you.
Yeah, and my hope also too is like we also get to add the screenplay back into our game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the screenplay is probably one of the most deadliest plays that, I mean, if you go look at Ezekiel Elliott throughout his career, some of Ezekiel Elliott's most deadliest plays of through his career have actually been on screenplays. Some of his biggest runs have been on screenplays. Some of his most memorable plays of his career have been screenplays. That is an aspect of our game that has just basically diminished. I'm thinking probably it's because of the continuity and what's going on with the offensive line. They just want to get the ball out quick, and when they do run screens, it's always like wide receiver ghost screens or things like that on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Where the offensive line really isn't even they're involved, but they're not really as involved. But we just don't run the running back screens anymore that we used to kill for. And the running back screen, in my opinion, is more deadly. Why? Because it's deadly to have three offensive line running at you with a wide receiver behind you, but it's another thing to have three linemen running at you, and then you have Zeke behind you running behind them. You know what I'm saying? That's a deadly thing to be looked at, and that's a deadly thing to have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for the Dallas Cowboys to be able to get him to have the thought to maybe even get that back. I also think, in the pass game too, I think your pass game will improve too because you're going to get better protection. You're going to get better passing protection. So, if you are the 32nd win rate versus the pass, that lets me know that you're not really throwing the ball deep. Why? Because you can't. You don't have protection. You don't have the protection for Dak to drop back 4 feet, 5 feet, because that's where those deep passes, that's where those long developing plays come from. Unless you get a situation where you get a guy that takes a slant to the house or a broken tackle and a guy get loose, like that's pretty much all you're gonna get out of that. If you're not dropping back further than if you're not dropping back further than 2 to 3 step drops. And that's I think that would I think those are the two biggest things that you're going to be able to get when your offensive line is back 100%. You're going to be able to get Dak. You're going to be able to have better play calling. You're going to have more, not necessarily better play calling, but you'll be able to get more plays. You'll be able to get a variety of plays. Why? Because now your quarterback is going to be able to drop back farther. Why? Because they can protect it. If you can't protect it, then you can't be drawing no all out streaks. You can't be doing stuff like that. Why? Because it takes time for the wide receiver to actually get downfield. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And
that's my go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that to add to it because we talk about run block win rate. Tyler Smith, number 4 in the league right now, wins on run blocking 81% of the time. So he number 4 at the tackle position. The only guys ahead of him in run block win percentages in his position are Cornelius Lucas, Jordan Mailata from the Eagles, and Josh Nealman. So like Tyler Smith is ahead of guys like Ronnie Stanley, Kelvin Beachum, Braxton Jones, Ryan Ramchick, DJ Humphries. So he's winning on run blocking more than them. And also shout out to Zach Martin, the future Hall of Famer. He is yet again top 10 in run block win percentage. He's winning 74% of the time. He's top 10. He's number 10 actually. And last but not least, Tyler Biadasz. He is number 9 among centers in the run block win rate category. He is winning 71% of the time when he's run blocking. So, like I said, that is the strength of your offensive line. Because I think we only have one guy. Do we even have one guy? Let me see. For pass blocking, do we have? Let me see. We have anybody that's top
If
5
we
pass
if we
blocking.
rank 32nd, there's no way we can have anybody that's top
We
five.
have one. We have one guy, Zach Martin.
That's the only one I would think.
He's the only guy that is in the top 10 of pass blocking win percentage at his position. So like he is fine, but he also a guard. So we also have to factor that in. You're not really gonna get that much pressure as a guard. Most of the pressure is gonna come off the edge.
Edges off the
In,
edges.
yeah, in most of these instances. So yeah, so like you got a good run blocking line, and Tyron Smith was top of that category too last year. So you keep putting all these good run blockers on your team. Like I said, you're gonna maul guys up front. So I would definitely go with the move, and hopefully like that just adds and improve. And when you think about improving your run game, that's more production for Ezekiel Elliott. That's more production for Tony Pollard. like two of your best offensive weapons will see a boost just by adding Tyron Smith back into the lineup.
Yeah, man, he says this guy should be on point with his facts and takes. Hey, my boy Moneybag says this guy HTM be on point with his facts and takes 100%. Have him more often on Good Show. Hey, he on here about 3-4 times a week. He also do his own content over at HTM Sports. So drop that. Make sure you guys go give him a follow over on HTM Sports at Henny DeMore Sports. Hey, I mean, all those are great points, man. All those are great points. I mean, I mean, this is the original Dallas Cowboys for the first time. I mean, think about this: December 11th will be the first time you actually get to see the offense that the Cowboys envision.
Right.
Like this will be the first time all these guys actually play together. Like, no matter what happens with the switch, this will be the first time these guys have all played on the same field at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So the thought of that your offense as a whole can get better, that's a great thing, man. That's a great thing to think about, and that's a great thing to even be that's something to looking forward to. That, like, no matter what, your offense is going to get better, because it's hard for me to believe that my offensive line is going to get worse by adding Tyron Smith to it,
It can't.
especially if he's 100% healthy.
Right. Now, if Tyler Smith were having an All Pro season or something, then I might be in conversation. He's not playing that well to warrant Tyron not giving his job back. But somebody that is playing well enough for a guy to not get their job back is Damon Clark. Because just from the way that the Dallas is talking about it, I don't think Anthony Barr has a job anymore, Kinfolk.
I mean, I, I mean, he's hurt. He hurt all the time. So I mean,
I
what you
mean,
think? I
even
mean, you
even,
think they'll
even when
release
he
him?
even when he wasn't hurt, nah, because they need the depth. More than likely, what's going to happen is like, they are going to probably have him in rotationally, but that starting linebacker position, the way that they're talking, is going to belong to Damon Clark. Matter of fact, let me find the quotes. Let me find the quotes. Okay, here we go. I think we're seeing the beginning of an outstanding career. Mike McCarthy on the emergence of Cowboys rookie Damon Clark thrust into the starting role mid-season after recovering from spinal fusion surgery in March.
Hmm.
So he was pretty much praising him for what he was doing, and I pretty much feel like he solidified himself over what Anthony Barr was doing, because like Anthony Barr was not productive when he's on the field. I hate to say that because I beat the table for him. I wrote a whole damn think piece on how Anthony Barr being added to our defense will make us a Super Bowl caliber
Yeah,
defense.
but you got to think about this. You were writing, you wrote all that based off of where he was. Like, nobody could have factored in that he was going to fall off the way he is falling off.
That
Like,
is true, it 2020 hindsight changes everything. But like you said, at the time I felt that way. But he hasn't produced up to the level that I expected of him. He hasn't produced up to the level that the Cowboys have expected of him.
no.
And Damon Clark, he's shown a lot. Like he's young, he's raw, but like he is a real linebacker. Like I'm gonna use this. He wore number 15 at LSU. I'm not going to use this example so you can get it, kinfolk. Number 15 at LSU for linebackers is like number 5 at Arkansas for running backs.
Hmm.
You only get that if you was him. So we got a guy right now that's following the footsteps of Darren McFadden at Arkansas, Rocket Sanders. He him. So they gave Lamont Clark number 15 because he is him. So like he's shown everything you would want to see so far in the NFL as a linebacker. So he had sea legs his first game, but you could tell just by the snap count they trust him. He's playing 40, 50 snaps now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you got guys like Jabril Cox can't get off the bench.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this too. You know, LVE gotta give him some love too, because LVE probably had his best game of in the last 3 years. He had the best game of his career
It was a complete
this
game.
this Thursday. He had his best game of his career. I'm gonna tell you, and I mean, I don't know if it was just because of the motivation of having Jalen out there on the opposite field, or what it was, man. But LVE by far had his best game. He was the number one thing that I loved. He played at the line of scrimmage like he was going forward. Like LVE was in noticeable attack mode. He was in noticeable attack mode. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what I seen from LVE is something that I ain't seen all year, man. I ain't, it's something that I have not seen all year. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. My biggest question to LVE is, can you continue that? Can you continue that? Can you let me see it? Let me see it this week versus these Colts, because the Colts got some pretty damn solid line. They got some solid linebackers. That boy Franklin is nice. That boy Bubba Oriki, he's nice. Both of them damn near got 100 tackles apiece. Franklin got 110. Oriki got 95. You know what I'm saying? So these are dudes that play at the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? They don't play at the line of scrimmage where they got a whole bunch of sacks, because they only got 2 sacks. They only got 1 sack between the two of them. You know what I'm saying? But these, this defense that we about to play right here, this playing this week, this is a solid defense. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. The Colts offense is ass, bro. They are not. The Colts offense is not good, man.
at
Like
all.
at all, man. Like Matt Ryan, 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 2,443 yards.
Let me
Jonathan,
update that. He 10 of 10 right now. He threw a pick earlier today.
he just threw another. Oh damn. Well, he 10 of 10.
10 touchdowns, 10
10
picks.
he 10 of 10. 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Well, from as before this game started, he was 2,443 yards. He probably had about 2,500 now. Jonathan Taylor had 151 carries for 678 yards and 3 touchdowns. What do you got right now? What
Uh,
Jonathan Taylor got right now?
Let me look it up real quick.
Like I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. I'm surprised I am surprised how bad this team went away from Jonathan Taylor, especially after week one. Week one he had like 167 yards. It's like ridiculous. Most of the 678 yards he got in 2 games.
He's not even. They're not even giving him the ball. Six attempts for 34 yards.
And that's weird to me, man, because Jeff Saturday, bro, you an offensive line coach, bro. I mean, you're an offensive line coach. You an offensive lineman. I was thinking you was about to go out there and try to really run that ball, man. But he does not seem like he's really adamant about running the damn ball, because in the last 5 games, the Colts are 1-5. They about to be 1-6. I mean, they about to be. I mean, well, no, yeah, they 1-5 in their last 6 games. They about to lose tonight, so they about to be 1-7. Like, they not good. 11 turnovers on offense. They've only 16 total touchdowns this entire season. Like, that's crazy. Michael Pittman is their number one receiver, 678 yards. He ain't really doing much. 1 touchdown. Behind them, they got that boy Paris Campbell. He got 440 yards, 3 touchdowns. Sound like a bunch of number twos and number three. They got a bunch of number 2 and number 3 receivers.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna also say this: you can't really judge the receivers they have if you have a quarterback that can't give them the ball, and they have not protected Matt Ryan at all this season. Matt Ryan does not have the mobility. He wasn't a very mobile quarterback at
It's
all to
statue.
begin with.
Micah Parsons is gonna have a field day, bro. He gonna this another 2-sack game.
Three, you might have listen. Michael Parsons might set a sack record this game because Matt Ryan cannot get rid of the ball, and they're not really running the ball at a clip to ward it off. So then you got to factor in they're going to be coming off of a short week. They're going to be coming to Dallas. It's going to be loud, man. Matt, unless Jonathan Taylor has a resurgent game, I don't really see how they put together enough offense to beat us.
And they're not really even giving him the ball. He's only averaging like 22 carries a game.
Yes, and for a running back of his caliber, that's not enough. Like he needs the ball at least 27, 28. Last year when he had that great season, he was averaging 28 carries a game. That's a full 6 carries less than what he had last year. And maybe because he's been injured that they're not giving that big of a workload. Maybe it's because of the injury they're not repeatedly hitting him the ball. But I don't really know what's missing from this offense right now. But I'm glad they're struggling. I don't need them to have a get right game against us. So I'm glad they're in disarray. I'm glad they ain't got it figured out. I'm glad that for the most part, Jonathan Taylor has been a spectator in these games. So like I can live with that.
Yeah, but the cold thing about the game is just like my boy said. He says people teams get up to play the Cowboys. I'm gonna tell you what else teams do when they play the Cowboys. And what's up with you, Miss Cortez? I'm gonna tell you what else they do. They run the damn football, man. Why? Because teams know that is a sure way to beat the Cowboys. And this is I'm gonna tell you, this is a bad team, but this is also a bad matchup for the Cowboys. And I'm gonna
That is
tell you
also
guys
true.
why. Any team that has the ability to run on you, that means they have I mean, their offensive line ain't really good, but they good at running the damn ball, and Jonathan Taylor can do the rest. Those are the teams. I mean, the quarterback, I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? What I'm afraid of, not even afraid of, or what puts my ears on alert is these teams that have nothing else to lose but run the damn ball. And I know for a fact when they play Dallas, he gonna try to run the damn football on us.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like people were talking about the next 3 games, 3 games that we try to implement other guys into the offense like Tolbert and such. I don't think any of these games is going to be nip and tuck for us because when you look at the teams, like you said, like they do have a elite running back that can hurt us in Jonathan Taylor. Then we will go and we'll play Houston, who has a good running back as well. He ran all over the Eagles. He had like 130 something yards against the Eagles.
Yep.
So like another running back that can hurt us. And then when you look at the Jaguars, they just beat the damn Ravens. They got a top 5 rushing offense. So like you really can't just sleepwalk into any of these games because you can get upset.
I mean, the Jags have been tough all year.
Yeah, like they've been in every game just about, man. There's really been an occasion. Hell, they almost beat the Eagles. They almost beat the Eagles. Did beat the Ravens. They had a couple of collapses here and there, but they're not as bad as their record indicates. But we'll have to take all these games seriously. Like your run defense is too bad to go up against good running backs and good running offenses and take them lightly. I'm not saying that we'll lose the game because we play our best brand of football. We will still win these games by at least double digits. But it can be a slugfest early on until we separate. So I just want y'all to understand that going forward.
Yeah, and that's why I believe this is not the time. And we got games that are going to be stacked on top of each other. So it's like this is why I said, not even to continue to put this on OBJ, but that's why I'm a huge proponent of you can't change it right now, man. Like everything is so delicate right now. Everything is barely hanging on to a string right now. Let it mature. Like that's all we need. I don't the only thing I need my offense to do is mature. That's it. Just grow up. They're young. They're innocent. They have so much. When you look at them, they have so much promise. Now we just need to water them and just let them grow and wait for the fruit. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to aggressively make any changes. We don't need to put them in another plot. We don't need to do none of that, man. We don't need to do anything. We just need to wait and let them mature because the offense is coming and the offense really has actually come. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you this right here. If the Dallas Cowboys win that Green Bay game, we're thinking about this offense differently, bro. And you're probably not even thinking about OBJ because what is your record? You're like what 9-2 if that
It'll be
happens.
9-2. And this is the thing, like
If that Green Bay game does not happen, bro, I think you guys feel totally different.
I mean, fam, we're 4-1. Like they're 4-1. The best we could have been is 5-0. Since Dak Prescott has been back, we are 4-1 in these games. The best we could be is 5-0. So you telling me that they played the game of their season against a Hall of Fame quarterback played the game of his season against us, and no, it's cause for panic. But the offense still put up 28 points. It really wasn't even an offense. You had a 14-point lead going like in the fourth quarter.
Your
We're a
defense
fourth.
gave up 17 points.
Yeah, there was a fourth. Listen, we had stopped them on 4th and 7. They scored a 50-yard touchdown on 4th and 7, and we're having this different conversation. If the defense gets one stop, this is not even a question. We just run the clock out, and we're talking about Dak having an up and down game and still getting the win like we did just this on Thanksgiving. So like no, I don't think the offense needs anything. I just think the offense needs to be cleaner. I think you cut down on these turnovers, we beat these teams by 20 points. Because that's the only way. That's the only reason that they're even in the game half the time. They get a couple turnovers early, and then we go on like a violent scoring spree. Like, listen, we've had a 14-point lead in every game since Dak Prescott has come back. Do you know how hard that is in the National Football League? In every single game, we have had at least a 14-point lead in these last 5 weeks. That is crazy when you actually put that into context. This is not college football. The fact that we are having these many demanding leads on these teams speaks a lot. So, like, I know we didn't hold on to it in the Green Bay game, but we just beat Minnesota by 37 points. They're the second best team in football. They're the number 2 seed in the NFC. So, like, I'm not seeing where we need more offense, because you got all the offense you need. If anything, try to get Tony Pollard the ball more. He's the most explosive guy on your team.
Facts.
Try and implement Jalen Tolbert. He's a top 100 player. He was a top 100 pick.
Yeah,
So
and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something else. Tony Pollard and Odell Beckham are connected. I'm gonna tell you how they're connected because now Tony Pollard and you actually the one that made this. You need to write an article on this. Tony Pollard has become such a focal point of your offense that you should be preparing to try to keep him.
yes, because it's too much to try and replace. Because let me say this. What if I told you a team would have to replace their leader in offensive touchdowns, their leading rusher, and their leader in big plays? Like, that usually sound like three different guys. That is one dude. That is Tony Pollard. He leads your team in total touchdowns. He leads your lead in rushing. He leads your team in rushing, and he leads your team in explosive plays.
Yeah. You gotta make a run. You gotta make a run, bro. You gotta make a run at trying to keep him. And I don't think you can just concede to yourself, oh, we're just gonna let him walk. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
And think about this. It's like by letting him walk, that means you would be putting that money towards somewhere else. Right now, Tony Pollard is number one priority right now. He's your number one priority. So it's like
but
Odell
hold on
Beckham,
now. I
if
think
he
I
was
think our number one priority actually Terrence Steele, because I got to keep that dog right there.
you
Like,
yeah, but my thing about Terrence Steele is Terrence Steele isn't the guy making the huge plays running down the sidelines. You know what I'm
true.
saying? So
And
it's
he
like
also is he also is a restricted free agent. So, like,
yeah,
hell,
so you will restricted, and let me tell you guys the difference between a free agent and a restricted free agent is a free agent is a person who is no longer under any type of contract. They are not responsible or they are not held responsible by from anybody. All right, they're their own person. They can sign with whoever they want to. A restricted free agent is someone who is bound by the last team they played for, and what happens is say he goes out into the market. Terrence Steele goes out in the market, and the Denver Broncos give him a 5-year deal, $50 million, $10 million a year. The Dallas Cowboys, from the time he is offered that deal, they have 5 days to match that deal, to match or better that deal. And if they better the deal, then then he would obviously revert back to the Dallas Cowboys. So that's the difference between a restricted and a unrestricted free agent. So right now, that's why I think right now, because Tony Pollard, he's going to be a 100% free agent. But I will say this. The Cowboys have been willy-nilly with the damn franchise tag. And the franchise tag for a running back ain't nothing but like $11 million or something like that next year. Because
I thought
running
it was
back,
like 9.5 or some shit.
exactly. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. I can already guarantee you what's gonna happen. Tony Pollard's gonna get franchise tag. If they were okay with giving Dalton Schultz $10 million, they will 100% being okay with franchise tagging Tony Pollard for a year.
Yeah, because look, $9 million ain't nothing. Especially, look, he hasn't played enough snaps at wide receiver to even be considered there. So wherever he goes, like, he would be, classified as a running back. The type of money that he's going to get is not going to be crazy money. Like, once he got his contract, they calm the hell down, giving running backs money, just because of the nature of the damn position. 'Cause, they don't have a long shelf life. Like, most running backs don't play 10 years in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they usually get used up. They they usually get used up and replaced pretty quickly. But, Tony Pollard should not be that expensive to keep. There will be a team that throws some money at him because of his big playability, but it won't be. the kind of money that CD Lamb gets or anything like that. You should still be able to resign Tony Pollard and sign everybody else you want. Like when you look at our team, they're real frugal. They know how to manipulate the cap. Like there's nobody that left that they didn't want to keep. Because remember, they could have kept Amari Cooper. They chose to get rid of him. But remember, all Amari Cooper had to do was restructure. They did not want him in the building. So like there's like they know how to keep players around. It's just going to be the question of if we get outbid for Tony Pollard or not. But like you said, if he gets franchise tagged, then that's a mute point. Then nobody can touch him.
Yeah. So I mean, so that's those are all great points, man. Those are all great points. What you're saying, I think the Cowboys. Just to answer your question, because somebody had put it in the comment box, how does someone actually become a restricted free agent? I'm gonna read you guys the definition. The definition of how someone becomes a restricted free agent are players who have 3 or more accrued seasons of 6 or more games before the contract with that team expires. So basically, the way it says a restricted player or who have 3 or more accrued seasons of 6 or more. Oh, okay. So when we got him, his contract was expiring, and he on those contracts it was only 6 or less games less on it. So that's why he's a restricted free agent. Because remember, the Cowboys didn't draft Terrence Steele.
Right.
You know what
He
I'm
was
saying?
an undrafted free agent, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was exactly. You know what I'm saying? But hey, he's a huge pickup. And I'm gonna tell you this, Terrence Steele, he's a guy that if I'm Terrence Steele, you want to hit the open market because there's a lot of money for guys who can play left and right tackle. And he put that on film that he can do both, and that he could do both at a fairly good high level. You know what I'm saying? So that's someone I would think would definitely be looking to get paid out there. So, but I'm gonna tell you, with the restricted free agent tender, you'll have some time because he's gonna have to go out into the market first to get those deals before he can, before you have to match him. So if it takes him 2 weeks to get a deal, then you still have 2 weeks. You still have the time. You know what I'm saying?
He
You're
says,
welcome, my boy Charles.
will Cowboys be able to pay Steele, Diggs, Tony Pollard, and Schultz? Nine
Yes.
times out of 10, yeah. Because think about it, we're not talking about signing like a receiver deal or anything like that. Terrence Steele, like he's a great right tackle, but he does not have the name to go get that to go and get the kind of money that some of the guys get. And remember,
Not
he's a
without
right tackle.
not without any Pro Bowls or no All Pros. You don't.
Right. And he's a right tackle. So they make less money than left tackles any damn way because they're not protecting the blind side. So like when you think about these guys compared to their positions, like these contracts won't be crazy. Tony Pollard is a running back. Tony running backs don't make that much money.
Not even the
Especially
top. The top running back doesn't even make a lot of money. He makes a
right.
lot of money because you guys bring it up all the time. But in the scheme of things, he doesn't make a lot of money. Think about this. Dalton Schultz makes wait. Zeke makes $3 million more than Dalton Schultz.
Hmm.
Put that in perspective. It's
That's
not a lot
it.
of money, bro. It's not a lot of money when you really think about it. He makes $3 million more than Dalton Schultz.
Hmm. And then when you think about it, Dalton Schultz is not going to have the numbers this season to get the kind of contract he could have got last year because he's been hurt. Dak been hurt. He's going to have a good season, but he's not going to have a top 10 tight end season.
And I'm
So
gonna tell you the thing about Dalton Schultz is he actually wants to be here.
mhm.
So when players they want to be here, it's easier for Jerry to bend them over. Just being real with you, I know that was a little vulgar, but when players want to actually be here, oh yeah, he lathers them up and bends them over real good. You know what I'm saying? So he'll make them feel good, and then put his name in lights or something like that. Say he's gonna make a memorial statue to him or something, and then guess what? He'll sign. But I'm gonna tell you this right here. I know for a fact the Cowboys don't have a problem with paying Dalton Schultz $10 million because they did it this year.
Right. And yeah, because Moneybag, we wouldn't be able to trade shows because this is it. Because we remember he wasn't under contract this year. We just franchise tagged him. So
Yeah.
like
Hey, let's go ahead. I'm sorry.
it's fine. I'm just answering his questions real quick because he's either going to resign and be a Cowboy, or he's going to walk. And it is what it is either way. But odds are they'll work out a deal. He wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. A tight end of his caliber. Well, a tight end, I ain't gonna say of his caliber. A tight end coming off the season that he's having is not going to demand a high amount of money.
Yeah.
So like it's going to probably be about the same deal it is this time. Just
And
2
Henny,
years.
think about this. Most of these tight ends that are getting these big contracts, they're getting them from the team that drafted them.
Mhm.
You don't see tight ends leaving and going to other places and getting bags. You don't see that.
Right. Think about
Because
it.
the tight end position is they're really connected at the hip. You're connected with the wide. You're connected with the quarterback. So it's
Mhm.
like tight ends really get their money based on how they help that quarterback, or you get money based on how you think you can help the quarterback. I'm gonna be honest with you. The NFL is very arrogant. I think the NFL looks at Dalton Schultz and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can draft you." You know what I'm saying? But you won't get that production right now. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Now, I think as long as I think Dak Prescott and Dalton Schultz are connected at the hip, or Dak Prescott and a above average tight end are connected to the hip. Why? Because for the most part, he's had that every single year of his career.
Mhm. He likes
He,
throwing the tight ends as a
he
safety
likes on
blanket.
it. Like they even brought Jason Witten back. And I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I know people keep saying, "Oh yeah, but they're not gonna keep all of them." Yeah, they will. They didn't get rid of anybody when Jason Witten came back. I
Yeah,
mean, they
because think
got rid of
about it.
some. They got
Them
rid of
other
some
two
tight end that
guys,
you didn't know.
the other two guys, one is a fourth round pick. He's not making no money, and
Nothing.
Hendershot was an undrafted free agent.
Not
No
making no
money.
money.
No, there are some people watching your live that make more money than Peyton Hendershot.
Damn. If you do, you need to hit stars. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and talk about that. Hey, hey, while we on that subject, we got 145 stars, man. I need you guys to help your boy get up to 10,000 stars. Let's make sure you guys hit that star button. Hit that star button. Make sure you guys hit that star button. Darren says, wait, West Coast, you going to open up the lines. Hey, man, if we can get to 10,000 stars, I'll open up the call line. Don't trip. I got you. Hey, but make sure you guys hit that star button. Top star givers hitting that star button. Is getting a Micah Parsons jersey. Also, if you're on YouTube, we got 21 likes. I need everybody that's on YouTube right now to go to the bottom of the screen and hit that like button. Hit that like button that's right there at the bottom of your screen. Go down there and hit that like button. Hit that like button. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. Go to the bottom right there and hit that like button.
I like old Henny shot though, man. Like do the athlete. I say
Oh yeah,
do
he
the
is.
but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
man.
I love all my tight ends, but this is one thing I know about the Cowboys and the Dallas. What's up, Eddie? One thing I know about the Dallas Cowboys and the tight ends is the Dallas Cowboys like having a gang of them. Like they have carried 3 to 4 tight ends almost every single year. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I
We
don't
need
I
them.
don't I don't see I don't see the Dallas Cowboys, and I see the Cowboys trying to keep all. I mean, why not? You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
yeah. But two of them don't make no money. And then we ain't even talk about McKeon. We ain't said nothing about McKeon. You know, he's a pretty solid tight end himself. But I like Schultz though. Like Schultz is a difference maker. Like you can just tell. Like he's played less games, had less snaps, and he has more touchdowns than all them boys, more yards than all them boys. So like you can tell the difference when he's on the field because he demands more attention. You know, he knows how to get open better. You know, he's at the next level of development already. So like you definitely need Schultz
He's a
in this
veteran.
offense.
You don't get rid of a veteran tight end because you don't want to pay him. Because it's not even about do you have the money to pay him. You don't want to pay him. If like this is the thing. If you're not going after an Odell Beckham Jr. or somebody ridiculous, you have the money because listen, you have money right now to sign Odell Beckham Jr. That's why you're talking about him. But the
Hmm.
real question is, are you okay with giving Odell Beckham money and not giving Tony Pollard money? Or you know what I'm saying? Like a guy like the cool thing about Diggs is Diggs got one more year on his deal. We are just under the belief that we don't believe that he's gonna play on it. Appreciate you, my boy Rafael Santiago. I'm gonna give
Hmm.
you a how about them boys?
Because it makes no
And I'm
sense.
gonna say
Because
because it makes no sense, but I'm gonna say this too real quick. Russell Wilson has $102 million dead cap hit, so don't ever talk about anybody's money on the Cowboys. That is ridiculous. Go ahead and say what you were saying.
nah, just I was just going. Damn, you threw my train of thought off with that ridiculous ass number. Well, no, I was just gonna say it makes no sense for Diggs to play on the final year of his rookie deal because like who out here thinks he's gonna be all pro this year? Like he is having
He's
that
gonna be
shut.
he's gonna be an All Pro this year.
He's having that shutdown corner season we've been talking about. We've been having that even like folks will talk about. Well, they
There's
don't
probably
respect
more.
him.
There's probably more legit. His All Pro will probably be more legit this year than it will be last year because he's
Right.
playing
Like
better. He's playing better right now than he did last year.
he's not giving up yards or touchdowns right now. And like hell, he still got 3 interceptions. So like he has, like he's still one of the top guys in interceptions. He's not allowing yardage. He's not allowing touchdowns. Like he's pretty much clapping that whole side of the field down when he's out there right now. So like odds are he's going to be recognized for how he's playing. He's going to get one of those All Pro slots. So there's no way in hell that a two-time All Pro is going to play on the final year of his rookie deal, making like $1.3 million and risk all that he could suffer any kind of injury and never see a payday. And guess what? His brother is one of the best receivers in football, who is all pro himself. He's not gonna let him go out sad like that. I don't know if any of y'all got older family members in position of power or something like that, but he's gonna look out. Like he will, like hell, like he got the money go in his pocket and to give him to not go play on that rookie deal. He need to
Yeah,
give
I
it
mean,
back. He need to
if
give it
I'm
back to him
Javon
when he
Diggs,
get paid, boy.
yeah, if I'm Javon Diggs' agent, I'm paying. I'm easy. I will definitely pay him $2 million not to play next year.
Easily, because like that's your livelihood. You might not ever get another bag that big in your life. You can't fumble it.
Yeah, so I mean, another question we had coming in. Carla says, "Hey guys, in from Dallas, Texas, first time tuning in. Will Vanderish return next year?" I'm gonna say my question is, will he? Will he return? I have a feeling he will come back because Vanderis has showed me that he wants to be a Dallas Cowboy and he will take less money and he will do, Vanderis is supposed to be making $10 million right now. The reason why he's not is because they declined his 5th-year option and he came back on a less deal. He didn't even go out there a free agent to see if he could get more money. He just took the first thing the Cowboys gave him. So that tells me that that's a guy that when it comes to the financial aspect, he doesn't have these aggressive agents that are going to fight for him to get the most money because they didn't even try. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the Cowboys will look at LVE as a guy that they can get very, very cheap, and I think they're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I think they're going to do it. They're going to count him as a homegrown guy, and I think they're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Is
Yeah,
Dorrance Armstrong a free agent? No, he
he
has
got
one
another
more.
year,
He has another year in his deal.
and thank God he does, because like don't get me wrong, like cuz you just about talked me into trading the board earlier in the season.
Shoot, I'm still listen to me at the time. If you was to listen at the time, it was a good idea to trade him. I mean, if we could trade him now for a position of need, I'd still be down for it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we can't trade him because the trade deadline is over.
Right. But yeah, he's played well. In the snaps that they giving him, he made the most of it. And I know that you could probably say that he's feasting off of the opportunities that Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence are giving him. But at least he's producing. We had years where guys don't give that same production. Because Randy Gregory, like we were finna pay this man $100-something million. He ain't never had
70,
a season.
70.
Yeah, 70. Thank you, $70 million. He ain't never had a season this good. So you got
Yeah,
to
I think,
remember this.
I think his best season was 6.5 sacks. I'm gonna tell
Yeah,
you, the Cowboys got the thing about Randy Gregory. They got sold on what they thought he could be. They thought he could be Micah Parsons.
hmm
See,
and
the problem with Randy Gregory is like when you predict the future, you just predict it on the wrong player. Like they had this vision of like this Micah Parson s player who's like, because you got to remember Randy Gregory was smaller when he came in the NFL. Not smaller, but he was
like,
leaner. You know what I'm saying? He was leaner. The number one thing that was about him, funny story. Randy Gregory is actually my little brother's roommate in college.
yeah,
Like I,
you were
I
telling,
know him.
you were telling me that.
Yeah, known him for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? No, slept in the same room with him for 2 years. So I know this dude fairly, from like literally have this dude and sat in my mama house for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? So I know the guy for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And Randy Gregory, in my opinion, like he's always been like he'll never get credit for it, but for the Dallas Cowboys, he was the first envision of that athletic freak like guy, linebacker-esque guy that can rush the quarterback, that can also drop back in coverage. That was their first vision of Micah Parsons, of like of a dominant, because that's what they thought they were getting. You know what I'm saying? They got their first taste of it with David Irving, but he was crazy. You know what I'm saying? He was crazy. He was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Smoking weed on the internet before it was even cool, bro. Before it was even cool, he was smoking weed on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So, I think they kind of fell out of love with him. And then Randy Gregory was kind of like the guy that was supposed to, be that Charles Haley-ish. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually think Randy Gregory could still do it. But the thing about Randy Gregory, in my opinion, is his body has been too much out of football that I just think anytime it comes in contact with anything football, it just falls apart. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So, like if he had played the seasons that he was suspended, he would have more development. He would have better numbers. Like I ain't gonna say that Randy Gregory is a what if story, but like he had a lot of physical gifts. Coming into the league that set him apart. He failed. He fell at the combine because of his like the substance issues. I think he pitched 30 at the combine if my
He
memory
did.
serves. So like that's why he ended up in Dallas. Like he's a guy that fell. He didn't fall like because of Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith fell because of injury. He failed because he did something off kilter. That's the word I'm gonna use. So yeah, like Randy Gregory was really like you said. He really was like the prototype pass rusher that you see now in the league. He was like one of the first out the batch. Like you said, he just never played enough football for that to like fully click. Like you see flashes when he is on the field, but yeah, like that ship has sailed. Especially like he barely played this year. Has he played this year?
He played 2 games this year.
Yeah, so he's barely played any this year. So
And I'm gonna tell you, while we up here talking about the Denver Broncos, a very interesting conversation that one can have is this, man. Dan Quinn was the leading candidate for that Denver job, and I'm gonna tell you this right now: Denver is going to fire their head coach. He is
they
for
have no
sure.
choice.
He is for sure getting fired.
Yeah, if they could get out from underneath the Russell Wilson contract, they would. But like, it's just a, it's
It's
a.
impossible. You got $102 million in dead cap. If you cut him, I'm starting for the Denver Broncos next year because I'm gonna be the only person they can afford. You know what I'm saying? And they might not even be afford me because I ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? My services are not cheap. But listen to me. The Dallas Cowboys better be taking notes on some Dan Quinn. They better be taking notes because I would not be because I'm gonna tell you this right now. If I'm the Denver Broncos, I'm not gonna interview a bunch of people. I'm gonna call up the second place dude who didn't get the job, and who is that? Dan Quinn. Like I would not be surprised if the head coach of the Denver Broncos is Dan Quinn next year because he was the only guy. He was their second. He was their second pick guy, and they picked the other. Well, actually, it wasn't even said that they picked Dan Quinn over him. What was said is that Dan Quinn basically got an offer from the Cowboys that made sure that he was straight. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm curious to know if Dan Quinn turns that opportunity down twice. You know what I'm saying? So this defense, which is on record to do some historical stuff, regardless of what the Dallas Cowboys do as a team, this defense is on them in the 49ers defense. I'm gonna tell you this right now. The Dallas Cowboys defense and the 49ers defense, they're on pace to do some historical stuff. Like historical stuff. You know what I'm saying? If they can continue it for 17 games, it's gonna go down as they will go down as two of the best defenses to do it. You know what I'm saying? Gwen says, please take Kellen Moore. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Kellen Moore is going on any job interviews this year.
No, he ain't put. Look, like the offense was trash before Dak Prescott come back. So like people notice this stuff, man. Like
And they talking about going to get Odell Beckham Jr. Well, that's not a good thing. They're not saying that because your offense is doing so well. If I'm Kellen Moore right now, the last thing that I could do is bring Odell Beckham Jr. Because why? Because that proves me wrong.
hmm and think about it, man, because you jumped 22 spots just by getting your quarterback back. Like that should
Facts.
not be that much of a fall off when you don't have your quarterback. Like that makes it look, and it really is true. It make it look like your entire offensive success is tied to one guy. So it made Dak Prescott look like a good quarterback, but it did not make you like a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this. Kellen Moore, if he do go to another team, he can't go to no team where the quarterback is more athlete than throwing, because that's not gonna work out for him. He can't go to another team where they got a quarterback like Dak. He got to go to a team where they got like an Aaron Rodgers, a Tom Brady, a goddamn Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, one of them big trophy-looking goofy-ass dudes standing in the pocket, just standing there throwing balls all day. Because he does not work well. Like if he goes to if he was to go to a Denver Broncos with a Russell Wilson, he would probably have worse results. He'd probably have worse results because I mean I'm just being real, but he probably have worse results. You know what I'm saying? But just to talk about let's talk about a bad quarterback, a quarterback that ain't playing well right now, and that's the Colts quarterback, Mr. Matt Ryan, man. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Matt Ryan, man? What are your thoughts on Matt Ryan versus this Dallas Cowboys pass rush? And real quick, let me give it. How about them Cowboys to my boy Charles Brown?
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What are your thoughts on Matt Ryan, my boy? What is your thoughts on him?
He should have retired.
He should have took the bag, bro. He should have. Man, come on, bro. You have a happy home. You are not Tom Brady. Your wife love you, Matt. She making sandwiches. She writing little notes in the goddamn brown bag. Like, come on, man. They talking about your kids at school, Matt.
Yeah,
Like,
man,
Matt,
hang it up, man.
you should have hung it up, Matt. Like, you is
Like,
not Tom Brady, bruh. Go ahead,
like,
Eddie.
nah, like, man, you won a Super Bowl. I mean, not Super Bowl. You won an MVP. You been
Yeah,
to the Super
bro.
Bowl. You done did just about everything you can do, man. Because look, not every quarterback is gonna, is gonna win a Super Bowl. Like there are literally like 12 franchises that ain't never won a Super Bowl. So like it's okay for you to not win a Super Bowl, man. You wasn't gonna win a Super Bowl with the Colts, no way. So like I don't know why he came back. Like I would have to go somewhere that was set up for an actual run. And you know what? I'll take that back. They were supposedly set up for a run because
I mean,
Matt
they
Ryan
were
was
they were
was
a
like he was
Jaguars win from going to
going
the
to the
playoffs
playoffs.
last year.
Yeah, so like they thought that Matt Ryan was like a one game difference, was like the one game difference they needed. 'Cause, they expected to still have the stellar defense. They expected to still have one of the most dominant run games. They expected to still have one of the best offensive lines. None of that actually panned out. So I feel sorry for him. He was so fool's gold, and he went to the pawn shop and they laughed at his ass.
Mm. All right, now my quick thoughts on Mr. Matthew Ryan. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, bro. You should have. I'm pretty sure that conversation you had with your lady about playing, and you know how you listen, Matt. You got to understand that your lady gonna support you in everything you do. So when you was like, "Baby, I'm coming back," and you know how she paused for a minute and was like, "Okay, I'm happy for it." She wasn't happy, bro. Yeah, Matt, you should have went and like, cause I'm gonna tell you this right here, like his legacy is being tarnished right now. Like Matt, you could have. They was talking about possibly you being a Hall of Famer at one point. Going out the way you going out right now, man, that ain't gonna happen. This don't look like Matt Ryan. My guy Matt Ryan just, and also I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is probably the youngest wide receiving core that he's ever played with.
Yeah, because
So
he
this
had
was like
dogs his
all,
entire career though.
and I'm gonna tell you, Matt, there's a reason why they had an open position at starting quarterback there because the last quarterback was Carson Wentz. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I think you could have. If I was Matt, like I think in this situation, you probably should have took a better opportunity to be a backup somewhere. Like maybe you go to Atlanta, not to go to Atlanta, but or maybe you should just stayed in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I think you would have probably did better in Atlanta. But I get it. Jonathan Taylor, like he's not the same running back, man. He's not the same running back. Well, I'm very curious. Like I need to sit down and really look at the film from last year, but he's not the same running back, bro. He's not the same running back. When he gets in space, he's not that same dude, bro. When you rush for 1,800 yards in a NFL season, yes, your offensive line is good, but that's you, bro. 1,800 yards in the NFL, bro. That's you.
They
Like
don't happen a
you're
lot.
like yeah, the offensive line is doing their job, but them dudes is only blocking for 5 yards, bruh. That's you, bruh. That's you. So Jonathan Taylor, why am I not seeing at least you? I mean, I'm happy I'm not seeing. I mean, listen to me. Y'all got to understand this is a huge break for us because theoretically, this was supposed to be the best running back on our schedule. Because
Yep, him
Jonathan
and
Taylor
Derrick.
looked like a better back than Derrick Henry last year. Yes, he did, bro. He looked ridiculous. League MVP. Jonathan Taylor got league. Listen to me. He got league MVP votes last year.
He was a dog.
Dog, bruh. Go ahead, Annie.
Nah, like you're correct. I don't know what happened to their running game. I'm glad it happened. Don't get me wrong. Like that's still a area of concern. I know the past 2 weeks the run defense has played better on paper, but like I don't think that our problems have been solved at all. So I'm glad that a player Taylor's caliber hasn't put it together this season yet. So yeah, we're gonna have to just see what's going on because if we get a big enough lead on them, we'll win this game. Because like they're not even running the ball on third and short situations sometimes. I've seen them in the Philadelphia game and in this game tonight go empty set on 3rd and 3. I don't
Jesus.
know what the hell is going on. But 3rd and 3, they went empty, my guy.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm looking at. I'm trying to look at right now. How's Jonathan Taylor running tonight? Everybody said he's running well tonight.
Let's see. He wasn't doing jack squat right before we reported on it, but it has been a whole half or so since then. All right, he has 70 yards.
For how many carries?
Let's take a look. Let's see what my guy got.
Damn, they were losing a game that they were projected to win too.
Hold on. It said he got 49 yards. Maybe he got 70 yards altogether. Because yeah, he got 10 carries for 49 yards. So like
10
I
carries.
guess
So he averaging 4.9. I mean, he's running good, but I mean, he only got 10 carries, and it's what they are 9:03 into the. Like Jeff, this is crazy, bro. Jeff Saturday, I thought he was really gonna run the damn ball, bro.
I guess not.
Like I thought he was really gonna come out here and try to establish. Like I thought all offensive linemen wanted to run the damn ball, especially when you have an older ass quarterback, man.
I mean that'd be the wise thing to do. Because he does not need, especially when you get older like that, man. You can't. There's only so many throws your arm got left. You need to be saving them.
And you got to think like this, as they, you can't afford him taking too many hits either.
Mm-mm.
Let's go into these wide receivers, man. Their top wide receiver, their tight ends actually have more touchdowns than the actual wide receivers. But shout out to that boy Michael Pittman from USC. Shout out to him. Got to show love to the Cali boy. And then also that boy Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell has 3 touchdowns. Pittman has 2. Pittman's leading them in yards with 6. What do you got? Pittman got like 667 or 680. No, that's Jonathan Taylor, 676. He got 678. He got 678, but 1 touchdown. Paris Campbell has 440, but he has 3 touchdowns. Between their 2 starting wide receivers right now, they have 4 total touchdowns. Remember, this is also being thrown from a guy that freaking has Matt freaking Ryan, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never think that this is an offense that has 16 touchdowns total, and it is November 28th, man. This offense is not good. The Colts in the last 5 games are 1-4 in the last. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games. They're 1-6 in their last. Well, they're about to be 1-6 in their last 7 games because they'll probably lose tonight if they don't get it together. And they are currently losing by 6 to a 3-7 team at home. Like
But
I'm gonna
they have the ball driving, so we'll see what
they have
happens.
the ball. Kyle, yeah, my team, my page is monetized. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you this right now. On defense, bro, the Dallas Cowboy defense should goose egg these dudes, bro.
Yeah.
Like they should goose egg this dudes. Like this should be a 0-point score. Like, bro, I don't see like they don't have the offensive firepower as far as the wide receiving room to get behind anybody. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that. Jonathan Taylor's not. I mean that's probably the aspect. If somebody's gonna score, it's gonna be him. It's gonna be
So
him.
him or my Alley Cox, because that's a big dude to try to guard in the red zone. But they would have to get down to the red zone.
You got to get to the red zone. And to be honest with you, like I know the Colts are not about to sit up here and try to say we about to throw the ball 40 times into Trevon Diggs and into Micah Parsons because they don't have the offensive line to stop that.
Yeah, we got the most sacks in football. So
I
that's
mean,
not they're not really something you want for Matt Ryan anyway. Like you said, he is an old man. By quarterback standards, he's an old guy. You don't want him getting hit. Tom Brady don't ever get hit. That's why he's playing to damn near 50.
yeah. And Taylor, the boy Jonathan Taylor, he's averaging 20 to 22 carries a game right now. He is he's on pace to have 1,082 yards. Last year he had 1,811. So he is down 800. Oh my God, he is down 807 yards. That is a huge difference, bro. That's a
In his
totally different
defense, he did
offense.
miss games. So like he did not play a full season this year.
How many games he missed so far?
Let's take a look.
Because I know he played week 1 because he went dumb week 1.
Let's take a look. ESPN.
He went dumb. Cowboys are a more balanced team this year. I don't know about balance. They lead with the run more than anything this year. That's where if you say balance as far as their offense is good, their defense is good, yeah. But if you're talking about like one phase of their team, definitely we're definitely a better as we run the ball.
All right. So how many games have been played so far? This is like what they 4, 6, and 1.
4. I thought it was 4. Yeah, 4, 6-1.
Okay, so
11.
that's 11. He only played 8 games so far. He missed 3 games.
That still ain't enough. To be missing 800 yards?
It would depend on how many. So what would he have if he played a full 17? I have to break down the
Yeah,
stats.
if he played a full 17 this year, he'd be projected to have 1,071 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Let's see. Let me divide this. We got 891 divided by the 8.
The Steelers are giving it away. They're a bad team. They're a bad team. That's what bad teams do. If the Colts score, they will courtesy score of the game. All right, I know what you're talking about, my boy. Hey, you guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that star button. Top star givers going home with a Micah Parsons jersey. Top star givers going home with a Micah Parsons jersey. Hey, man, the NFC East is a monster. What you said, the Commanders are sneaky good. The whole NFC East going to the playoffs.
Yeah, as of right now, you are correct. The entire NFC East is in the playoffs. You know who's not in the playoffs right now? The damn Seahawks. That loss to the Raiders is screwed them up.
All right. Well, yo, man, we've been on here for about an hour and 20 minutes, man. I appreciate everybody that's been tuned in and watching. I will be live in the morning, man. He said he's still missing 300 yards. Hey, absolutely. That's what I was thinking. I'm going to be live first thing in the morning about 10 a.m., between 10 a.m. and 11. Henny, man, let them know what your next article you're going to be dropping, and let them know where they can find you at.
Oh yeah, man, I'm finna drop a stat breakdown of the Colts. I know they're not a good team, but we know we still need to go do a deep dive. So some of the stats and topics we talked about tonight, you can go back and review them. You want to do notes, see what's coming up, and you can catch that at HTM Sports on all platforms except for Facebook. On Facebook, it's still just Henny the More. So just tap in. I have a good cowboy content for y'all.
Absolutely. And, hey, man, you guys already know where to find me at. Anywhere you can hear Cowboys, just throw up West Coast Cowboy, and I got you. You feel me? And you already know what it is, man. I will see you guys in the morning. Never look down because stars up. Peace.